today we can see that the stone that was rejected has become this cornerstone of the Nigerian economy. Let's listen to this video, or audio rather, of how the Igbos today now control the economy of Nigeria. And of course, after that, we would also listen to the reactions of my Igbo brothers who have reacted to the North, who have always said that it is the Sardauna that caused the Igbos, and because of that, there has never been a president. Talk with me, please.
States. There was a report that came out sometimes that 70% of the containers coming to this country are heading into the southeast. Maybe probably you guys not pay close attention to what that statement actually meant. 70% are heading to the southeast. What percentage is heading to the other part of the country? And who are the people importing those things? So it's possible that about 80 to 85% of the containers coming into this country are imported by ordinary Igbo people. That is why 70% of them are heading to the southeast. My brother, harness this power. Forget this thing about you are being marginalized, you are being hated. Bro, hate is a two-way street. Don't always be the person that is on the receiving end. Stop it. Beacon, Northern has wake up today, January 15th, Armed Forces Remembrance Day, and started telling you that the North will never forget. Go and look at the tweet I made. I told them that the Eastern Igbos will never forget. And in that tweet I made, I put the picture of Ironsi and the kids who were staffed in during the Biafra War. I'm trying to make them understand that the same thing that they cannot forget, that we also have things that we cannot forget. And ours is even more grievous. Have you not seen the power that you're winning in this country? Why do you overlook the power you wield as a people? As it stands today, the average Igbo trader can decide what price goods and services will cost in this country. That is the power that they wield. Are you going to harness this power? Or are you going to sit back here thinking about political power? Do you think that marginalization is only when you don't get into political power, get into political offices? Or you're not appointed? Because if you tell me that is only marginalization, I'll ask you the question. All the people that have been appointed into these top positions today, what have they delivered for their regions? What have they delivered for their regions? The North is still largely impoverished and continuously so. The North has some of the worst, how did they talk about again? Child mortality rates and women that give birth that die during birth. Can you remind me how they talk about again? I beg.
And
Infant
Alamanjeri.
mortality. Infant mortality rate.
Infant mortality rate. Thank you
Infant
very much.
mortality rate.
And women that die during childbirth. I'm not making a mockery of them.
Maternal death.
Maternal death. Thank you very much. I'm not making a mockery of them because it's a sad situation. But the point I'm trying to make is this: they have not gained anything out of this. Absolutely nothing. So when you come up here and you make these cases that you have been marginalized, it doesn't move me. It doesn't move me because you fail to see. It's akin to the picture that we this painting that we saw, that two people are sitting in a bus. One of them is looking on the brighter side and watching the hills and the cliffs and everything. The other person is looking at the other side and watching only the walls of the hills. And the one watching the hills is gloomy. He's sad. He's not enjoying the trip. While the other person is watching the hills, the rivers, and everything, and he's enjoying it. These are the same people in the same bus, but they choose to observe this trip from different perspectives. The question I'm asking you is this: as a person, do you want to keep on, bleating about political positions? I put it to you today that if Peter Obi becomes the president today, there's no guarantee that the Southeast is going to get anything. I'm telling you this on good authority, that there is no guarantee that Southeast is going to get anything tangible. Southeast may end up getting the short end of the stick, just like they did during Jonathan. So there is no guarantee. So why not you use the power that you have today and get the most out of it? The power that you have today is that you control economic activities in this country. You literally decide the price of goods and services in this country. You decide the price of products in this country.
How?
What one is how?
How, Grandmaster?
I'm telling you literally. I just made my case here that they say that 70% of the containers that come into the country are heading to the southeast. Do you think they are heading to the southeast because they are owned by Fulanis, or they are owned by Yoruba people, or they are owned by Hausa people? They are heading to the southeast because they are owned by Igbos. And if 70% of them are heading to the southeast, what percentage of them are staying in Lagos? What percentage of them are heading to the north? What it means is that Igbos are heavyweight when it comes to importation in this country. And he who imports determines the price of goods and services in this country, because this country produces nothing of value besides crude oil. You determine the price of goods and services. You can decide how to increase the price and everything. I'm not saying you should be overpricing your stuff because you want to, to maybe kind of like, treat other Nigerians in a certain way. No, that's not what I'm saying. The point I'm making is that you can actually decide things in this country. So why don't you harness these things? So we keep on coming and talking about marginalization. Yes, we have always known these things have been going on for since way back. The first Igbo program that happened in Jos, 1945. They massacred Igbos. Who will tell me that in 1945 there was no Nigeria in 1945? There was no Zogo. There was no Ironsi. There was no Ifadrina. These people were not there. But somebody found a reason to kill Igbos in 1945 in large numbers. So this is not something I want to bleat about anymore. And I'll end with this. I think it is high time we actually understood that in this world we live, the strong will live and the weak will die off. Simple. It's a power play thing. If you keep on complaining and hoping for sympathy from anybody, nobody will give you sympathy. So what you do is that you face your adversaries and your opponents and your enemies head on. The same energy they bring, you give it back to them. So when these people wake up in the morning and tell you that the North will never forget, you go back and you tell them that the East will never forget as well. Because we lost 3 million of our people. We lost 70 million in the pogrom. We lost Ironsi. We lost 300 soldiers killed for no fault of theirs. We lost people. Look at what Benjamin Adekule said. That they will kill everybody. Whoever is moving, bodies are moving, bodies don't move. The person that instituted the idea of using hunger as a tool of war was Awolowo. So brazen, so out of order, that even the West, that they have never seen a place in the world during war that they use hunger as a tool of war. Nigeria introduced it. Who introduced it? Awolowo. These people are brazen what they want to do to you. Why can't you also face them the same way they see? That is all I'm saying. Because I don't waste too much time because I'm going to here.
January 15, 1966 was a bloody day.
Yeah.
I mean, historically, this was a day so many old Nigerian politicians were mutannized. It was said and rumored that Sardauna was forced to drink alcohol, and ever since then, he laid a course that there will never be an Igbo president. Let me have a reaction.
Who the hell is a Gentile to curse the Jews? A Gentile can never curse the Jews. See, let me tell you, they are not only just Gentile, they are from the descendant of Cain. Not only Cain, they are the Ishmaelites. Their mother, the mother of the whole Fulanis, the whole Arab, is Hagar, Sarah, Abraham's wife's maid. Who the hell is a slave to curse his master? See, it is sometimes Twinkle's ear, my ear and other people's ears when they say that Sardauna or Sultana was going to curse Igbo. Who the hell is a Samaritan, somebody from Samaria, to curse the Jews? People don't know history. The moment he laid curse on the Igbos, he was cursing himself. That was how often they used to curse Israel in the Middle East Europe. At the end of the day, Israel will come out with what? Flying color. Today you see the victory is written all over Benjamin Netanyahu that Israel has actually decimated over 8 countries, Arab countries, within a space of 14 months. And let me tell you, whether they believe it was cause or they believe it wasn't cause, we are not the same spec with the North. The North are still coming far away. Like, it will take the North 100,000 years to be like the Igbos. See, I don't know whether you've gone to the southeastern Nigeria recently. You will actually find out that the whole domestic wares we are using in Igbo land, I named them from toiletries to aluminium sheet, from aluminium sheet to other building materials in Igbo land. We are the manufacturer. How could a stagnant, uneducated moles could come out and say they lay curse on Igbo? Samaria, I repeat it again, Samaria, a Samaritan cannot curse or lay curse on the Jews. Okay, there are many things happening in Nigeria out of ignorance, ignominy, because we have poorly educated politicians in the north, poorly educated emirs, a sultana that doesn't have GCE certificate could not tell the history about Igbos. They are too down. They are coming behind us. I mean, far 10,000 years time. The north can never, they could never, and they will never meet up with the Igbos. When you talk about today's science and technology or technological know-how in Igbo, how we've been thriving and enterprising on all facets of life, you will see people that even were educated, civilized, industrialized during the era of slavery. I'm not trying to talk about the era of voyage, that exploration era. It was the era of exploration of voyage was at least, you know, the spirit of venturing into many faraway lands to actually discover. That was called the age of discoveries. The Igbos were there as warriors. I don't know what to understand. I'm not talking about the colonial era when the British come and before the coming of the British. Now we are here. Now we don't work strong in our own area. We Igbo have Igbo civilization. There is knock, Abi, or no,
Yeah.
no, Abi.
Yeah, knock.
Knock.
NK.
That is knock. There is knock civilization before the coming of the Western civilization. We discovered Otangele. We discovered Rezoblade, Aguba. We discover Utupe, Mpanaka. We discover Oze. Oze is like bronze. We discover Oledo. That is goldsmithing. We discover oil, iron. We discovered many things. That is knock civilization. So I don't see any tribe in Nigeria that could lay curse on the Jews and go scot-free. Bible says, whosoever lays curse on Jacob, I cursed him. And whosoever has blessed Jacob, I will show favor, I will bless, I have blessed the person. That's what God Almighty said. So who the hell are the Gentiles that are boasting of cursing the Igbos? No. That statement is too infuriating and it can never be the truth. Okay. You know what? They're dwelling on superstitions and imaginary things, imaginations. And again, I can see that it has developed to that kind of mental illness that has, brought this imams, sultana, alpha, Sheikh Gumi, them, all of them in the north, to the level of suffering from acute hallucination. That is schizophrenia.
Okay, so if you would say that this course hasn't worked or has not been compelling on why the Igbos have not been the
No, it's a conspiracy. They gather together with Yoruba, Arab Yoruba and Hausa Fulani. They gather together to nail Igbos, to marginalize Igbos, and it is going on and on and on. It is not cause. They are using force. If it is a cause, it would have been a spiritual thing. When you cause somebody, you will be better than that person. Oga, we have people that we are celebrating Zenko's mother's burial. Do you know? In Anambra, do you know how many billionaire Igbos that graced that occasion? Over 2,000 Igbo billionaires graced the occasion of Zenko's mother's burial. And someone that is eking out a living from scraps, dustbin, dump site, is pointing his accusing finger to billionaires in hard currency. Oga, foolishness and of knowledge has gone a long way in Nigeria to destroy some people, especially the people that are inhabiting the up country of Nigeria. Up countries are the northerners. That's another word for north. The people of the up north, they are too down, daft. Our intellectual inferiors, too low. You can't classify Igbo man and Fulani man and the Hausa man. We are not same model now. Our spec is higher.
Okay, today also marks.
We have two further than there.
Today also marks the Nigerian Army, Army Day.
That's a history.
Now, a list was published on the dailies, and in that list, they came out with the list of the coupists, and what we saw was 98% of them are Igbos. But you know, the Fulanis have always been the one pushing this hate. They have always been the one that have remained unforgiving, because for me, from my observation, I think the Southwesterners do not really have an issue. But we know,
because they were among the Coupists.
yeah, so my question is, how will the Igbos need to wash away this stain? Because it is a stain, if we're going to be frank with ourselves.
We don't wash away stains. Stain is indelible if you know the language you are using. When you have a stain on the white linen or cloth, it remains there. If you like, use hypo. Hypo can only confuse you. When that white lining become of age, you will see trace the stain. Do you know where I'm going? Igbo man is not asking anybody for forgiveness, because the coup were largely the whole components, ethnicity that makes up Nigerian nationalities. They
but again,
are
why is it tagged?
if you read the names, you will see some that are bearing English name. Those are from Port Harcourt. They are of mixed blood. The people that have, you know, met with those earlier white men that, you know, settled in the coastal line of Biafra, and they rape our women, force them into marriage. They born mixed blood. If you read the names from Plateau State, they sound somehow. If you read the name on from a former Benue State, they sound somehow. Then coming to Cross River, Bayelsa. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Akwa Ibom. You will see the names. The name is interwoven. It's not only Igbo, it's a lie. If I read it on and on, you see it's a coup that was well orchestrated by all the ethnic nationalities that formed, or that is Nigeria, our present Nigeria today. But one thing is that they always blindfold us with political speculations and, you know, deception, to actually believe that the Igbos are the majority. And again, by the way, how come about that list? Could that be the only coup in Nigeria? Did not Mama Vasta attempt to oust Babangida in 1990, 85 to 1990, and it failed? The purge failed, and the poet Mama Vasta, a poet, a writer, was what, tied to the stake and got shot. He was shot, killed by Babangida. Could that 15th January 1966 coup be the only coup in Nigeria? What about the coup that killed Aguiyi in December 1966? 100% Fulani. There are no Yoruba there. The even Yoruba man that was involved there was Faju, and he was the hero of the coup. He died with Mr. President. What a very, very special man. Very, very special soldier we have so far in our military. The man supposed to be the military, the smartest military officer of the 21st century. They're supposed to have given him an award in Nigerian history. Nigeria is supposed to be feeding that village from where Fajui come from, that died with Mr. President. What are we saying? There are many coups. In 1984, the eve of Christmas, Xmas 1983, eve, that first, Buhari-led coup, Brigadier Bako, ADC to Chagare was shot into 100 times. It was a piece of meat, torso, of the young man that they buried today. Naibo man, Bako, Sani Abacha's coup with Joshua Degwan Yaro against Buhari in 1985, August. Could that be the Igbo coup? Or that these people are suffering from diarrhea? Why? Because of Igbophobia. Igbo Igbophobia. Igbo fever has gripped Nigeria today. Today is being 15th of January. Is a commemoration of what actually took part in 1966, when zealous Nigerian young military officers were on a routine exercise in the north. And all of a sudden, that routine exercise, as a result of their zest and quest and overzeal to change the political landscape of Nigeria, they cornered to the palace of the Sultana and disalived him.
Thank you very much.